Where do dads store all their dad jokes? That's right, in the database. Welcome to Shave&Butcher. I made a brush. Well, I made a brush handle and I put a knot in it. That's what it looks like. So I did that. It's in porcelain, or yeah, I guess clay. It's made out of clay. It becomes porcelain when you're done with it, when it hardens. So that was a lot of fun, and we'll see if it works and how it works, but kind of like it. It's kind of neat, and I made that myself. The knot was made from dead badgers from China, so I didn't do that. But let's crack on with the shave. Take it for a spin. This will be the first shave with it. The razor is a Wick Sexto blade. I just realized I have no blade in it, so we'll pull out the blade. We can find them. Here we go. They're going to be Kismet blades. Kiss me, kiss me, Kismet. Now you can actually see what they look like, if I manage to get one out of the damn package. Okay, so is this one empty? Hang on. Ah, yeah, it is empty. Fortunately, I have another one. So this will be a Kismet blade. Very well prepared YouTuber. Okay, let's open them up, see what they look like. These are the best blades for Wick shavettes, I think. And most people think that's what they look like. So the steel is a bit thicker than on a normal razor blade. You insert it comme ça, and you got to be careful not to cut yourself, because if you slip, you will cut yourself. So new Kismet blade means more blood, generally. At least for me, because those things are sharp. They're sharp like nothing else. The soap today is Donde está Noir from, oh my god, what are they called again? Something very long in Spanish. Japones, which is soap. Japones de Afeitar Artesana. I guess that means artisan shaving brush. Los Japones de Josera Noir. So it's been soaking, squeeze it, and the knot is a 24 millimeter, can't remember, badger, 2-band badger. Not the most expensive one, but somewhere in the middle. So I purchased that, and interestingly it was shipped from Switzerland, so I guess Magards have their European shop in Switzerland. That's really bad for all Europeans except Swiss people, because since it is in Switzerland, we have to pay import duties. So I don't know how well thought through that was. At least where I live, I have to pay duties and an admin fee. So what looked like a good piece of business turned out to be very expensive. So what did these cost? These cost $30 odd. and I paid well over 60. So, but then again, they're a bit hard to, not good knots is a bit hard to find, or at least I struggled. This was the second knot I ever bought, so I'm not an expert in finding good knots at a good price. But anyway, Switzerland was bad news. You know, the different countries in Europe, they are different. Some countries are not even in the European Union, like Switzerland. That's why you get duties. So I could have just as well purchased it from America, which is what I thought I did. But a good knot, very enjoyable, nice feel to it, seems to lather well. Sometimes you need to break knots in, which I didn't do, but this one seems to work pretty okay. So it's a porcelain, so it was made out of clay. It's hollow inside, and we did it when we had a pottery class, or whatever you call it. It was my mum's birthday, so as a present, we all went, kids, grandkids, wives, to take a class, or mess around for, lather all over the place, mess around for hours making things out of clay. And a bit of food, a bit of wine. It was all very nice. And Mom loved it. So we all made stuff and we all said it was for her. But I picked it up for her because it has to dry for, I think it's 4 or 5 weeks, and then you put the paint and the glazing on them and they go in an oven. We didn't do that. So it takes a bit of time. So I picked them up and I brought them to her, everything that we'd made. And she ended up keeping nothing of what we did for her. So not good praise for our skill level. But this one I made purposely because I wanted to make a brush handle. And it turned out quite well, I think. But it's hollow inside, so I had to build it up, build the hollow area up with something so that the depth was suitable for a brush knot. I didn't have a plan, but I ended up putting sand in it. Sand, and then I carved out a piece of wood that fit reasonably snugly on top of the sand, and then put a shitload of glue, epoxy glue in there. I stuck the knot in, and that was 2 days ago. So hopefully it's hardened enough now to support a bit of water. But it'll be interesting to see if sand starts to leak out when I put it upside down. Could happen. And then I guess I have to pull everything up and do it again, only with more glue. But hopefully there will be, before the glue, there were ways for the sand to come out, right? Through the piece of wood, because it wasn't perfectly round, so the wood wasn't perfect. Why wasn't it round? Yeah, well, I made it. So I had to put quite a bit of glue in to sort of, what do you say? Fill the voids, fill the holes. But we'll see. Because I've heard about hair loss, and you do get hair loss from the brush, but loss of sand is a little bit more troublesome. Now, this is way too super. So go get my traditional piece of toilet paper. I think I cut my nose a bit, like an idiot. You might notice I keep my finger on my chin, and that is to make sure the skin is taut. Otherwise, the razor skips, and I cut myself. Already a bit of blood there. This thing is insanely sharp. So one thing you don't want to do when you shave with one of these is talking. Or you will cut yourself. But I haven't shaved with a wick in a long time. At least as far as I can remember. You know, with the beard and all. And seriously, I do need to concentrate more when I use this thing than with the straight razor. Leather's drying up a bit. However, the thing with the wick is that as long as you have some kind of lubrication, you're going to be fine. You do not need the best lather in the world. You really don't. Because it's so efficient, so sharp, and yet so smooth. I mean, yeah, I get the best shaves from this tool. And next up in my how-to series, I'm going to I'm going to do how to shave with the straight razor. Should be fun. And I don't think I'll choose a wick for that. Wow. Wow, so close, so smooth. But I will use an alum block. This is all I have left from my first ever alum stone. I don't use alum on a regular basis. I generally do when I've had a bit of a rough shave. I can see some redness here. My only explanation is that the blade is so incredibly efficient. Now, I can shave with this. I have counted once. I can do 20 shaves on this blade easily. And it would still be, well, not as sharp as it is now, but really sharp. After 20 shaves, without stropping it, because you can't strop them, easily as sharp as if I used a good straight razor. Okay, so I need to decide on aftershave. I'm going to use Taro from Arefa soaps in the Ukraine. Oh, I hurt my shoulder, so it's a bit tricky to raise my arm above ground, really. Lovely stuff. That was good. So the brush, it's all messy now, like Lionel, but there you go. Self-made brush handle. I'm really content. Thanks for joining me for the test drive. Sunday, it'll be Monday tomorrow. I hope you get a good week. At least I hope you get through it alive. That's the minimum requirement. And if you have a good week, then great. So let's make the week great again. And I'll catch you soon. Stay sharp.